7:17 a.m. and last night, not gonna lie, I had a I had a relapse with my habit of binge eating, but I decided to treat it like it was not the end of the world, which I had done in the past. So what we're doing right now is I'm gonna take my ashwagandha, which is basically balance in a bottle. I honestly encourage you to look it up. But I'm also gonna make some dandelion tea, and then I'm gonna make some celery, grapefruit, lemon, and beet juice while I just talk with you guys about life. Now that might not sound good. I believe it's gonna taste good. We'll see. So for the past 2 days, wow, you see how long that took me? Dang, that was not normal 2 days ago. For the past 2 days, I'd been eating a very low amount of sugar, and I had been stopping my eating at 7:30, and it was working honestly really well. Going to sleep without a full stomach was fairly new to me, which was not my favorite thing to say, but I did have issues with snacking super late at night. It's something that I built up over the years as a coping mechanism for stress. In 2019, things got a little bit rough on the edges with myself left, and that's what I used to do. I used to buy cookies late at night, but the thing is it wasn't very healthy. We had to do some prep. And eventually it just led to a bunch of poor habits that got me really sick. And some of those habits, even though I'm no longer in the hospital, have still stayed with me, which is kind of a shame. But I don't let them come out as frequently, which keeps it from actually getting me to the hospital. Doesn't mean I don't suffer a little bit though. And so one of the worst things that came from it though was a headspace of, well, I relapsed, so I must have failed. It's the end of the world. And then I needed like 3 days to fully recover mentally. And by that point, I was so annoyed of putting myself through so much suffering that I wasn't worth it, that I would just do it over again. So it was like the same 3 days over and over and over again, with slight variations to keep it spicy. But last night, while this was all going on, I caught myself because I just go into silent thinking mode. And I just started talking. Because my voice itself, to me, is a way to ground myself, a way to bring myself back into what's going on, which is right here, right now. The only thing that's ever happened. And when I'm grounded in the moment, like truly, then I can actually see what it is that I can do to better my life, to go in the direction that I want to go. And sometimes by just being in the moment, the only next step that makes sense comes to you, whether it be one that you were expecting or not. And so, well, I just made beet cute. Can you see that? Last night I was telling myself, like, hey, it's okay, calm down. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Just do this, and a fork. And so the big thing with sugar, especially overeating sugar, is you overdo it on your liver. Now let's think alcohol-related fatty liver disease. So fatty liver disease is basically what it says. Your liver gets too much fat and it hinders its ability to actually work. And so alcohol-related fatty liver disease has to do with people that drink way too much. Because what is alcohol? Alcohol is fermented sugar. It's still sugar though. Not only that, but it gets processed as ethanol, which is a toxin. But when your liver itself gets too much, right side, sorry, left and right. When your liver gets too much sugar, what it does is with that extra energy, it stores it as fat. And I learned a while ago, you always have an enzyme, which is something which breaks down the foods inside you. It just breaks down the material we bring in general. There's always an enzyme that's on for fructose. I don't know of glucose, but, and if I'm right, glucose is the singular version of a carbohydrate. Fructose would be 2. I know it comes from fruit though. But when you eat something like high fructose corn syrup, what you're getting is fructose. okay? So if you're drinking a coffee with vanilla syrup in it, that's fructose. That whole syrup, all of that syrup is being processed in your liver. And normally, that's fine. But if you're overdoing it, think about all the extra energy your liver's getting, right? How much of that has to turn into fat? How much of that is stressing out the liver? Not only that, it's not just the sugar that you're digesting, you're breaking down everything else that you're bringing in. So, I overdid it last night. Ooh, the dandelion's almost ready. And I definitely pushed my liver way harder than it had been pushed in the past few days. Now, the interesting thing is I had been detoxing my liver. I had been drinking dandelion root, okay? And dandelion root is great for liver detoxing. I'd been drinking my juices, which were, as I started to look up the ingredients last night for things to help my liver and things to help my digestive system, are actually really good for my liver. So my liver was starting to get clean. And this time I felt the food so much more. And I couldn't like seduce myself into overeating as much as I would in the past. Because simply put, it just wasn't as enjoyable. My body wasn't as numb to it as it was in the past. And so this is why I think cleansing out the body is really cool. Because when the body isn't so stretched out, overstressed, and it's actually sensitive to the things that you're doing to it, you can see how it affects you so much more. It's like fasting, right? When you fast for a day or two, that watermelon tastes so much stronger, so much better than if you were to only wait 3 hours in between your meals. That's that whole shindig. But this morning, I decided like, hey, I'm not gonna treat it like it's the end of the world, okay? You messed up on the 7:30 thing, you did well for 2 days, that's okay. Next time, let's go for a week though. Because you showed yourself that you have the potential to build the momentum in the direction of your goals and actually follow through with them. It's just silly little mistakes, which you just need to have a little bit more mental discipline to get over them. And I was like, you know what? Fair enough, respect. Because I was actually acknowledging the work that I was putting in. Hold up. I'll edit that out. That's something I don't normally do. I normally just beat myself down super hard. And this change of soothing myself is the make or break for me. Because in the past, by not soothing myself for a day or two, the stress builds up. And that stress, once it finally is acted upon, leads to bad decisions. And it's that same 3-day cycle which I talk about. And so the big thing has been meditation, right? Big thing is meditation. Yesterday something happened with a friend. It made me feel absolutely powerless. Oh, you're not supposed to see that. It made me feel powerless. It made me feel like, wow, I really cannot help when these type of situations occur. But then it dawned on to me, it's like, I am not stuck to the physical. You know, I can help in other ways. I'm a smart boy. I do my meditations. And so I did the only logical thing to calm down, which was to meditate and calm down. And did my God stuff. Lo and behold, everything acted out pretty well. Okay, there were certain things which I simply could not change, which was their attitude, their perspective on it. Materialistically, I'd say everything went pretty darn well. I've been training myself to not feel like I did the work on that. I am aware that through meditation, through becoming still, becoming quieter, you do become aware of the subtler aspects, the subtler laws, so to say, of here. And when you become aware of that, you can bend them to your will, so long as it's a loving approach, it's a loving way. We can do it negatively, but there are very strong repercussions for doing that. And that's why you should never do it in any other way except for love. But that was my intention. It was very genuine. And to see it all come together just reminded me, it's like, this is why I only should rely on this. And on my days off, I don't meditate as much as I'd like. But yesterday, there was a period for at least like 3 hours where it was very spontaneous. I would sit down and boom, 20 minutes. I would lay down, boom, 40 minutes. And it was just like, oh man, like, this is medicine. This is why when I walk to work and I see the stop signs on the little walkways where I need to wait for the cars to pass, I get excited because I can meditate for like a minute or so and really just dive deep. But now I have 20 minutes to do the same thing. And it's just the feeling of your heart expanding and growing, being filled with love, where you feel like you have everything. It's everything, man. I'm hoping one day it keeps growing, but it feels like everything is here. I will probably use this video in that video to quote this, but it feels like everything is in the heart. And I hope I get the words of the experience to like fully explain this, but right here. Yeah, this juice is gonna be celery, lemon, grapefruit, beet, and ginger. I think I already said that, but just for anyone who wants to mix it in the future, all these things are good for your liver, and all these things will help with bloating, will help with digestion, will help with making you poop, okay? Especially since it's a juice. But that's just something that's been going on. I painted yesterday, it was really fun. I think I had a really good idea going, but I want to today redo it and add a little bit more detail. I also am giving my friends some herbal medicine, and I'm hoping it'll help them out with what they're going through currently, and just remind them that nature has everything you need. Seek it out first and it will bring you to balance. And yeah, this is just another way for me to calm myself, for me to just be. This is JC's journals. This is what I used it for in the very beginning. It's just to document my life for myself. And now I have company. Okay, well, I love you guys. I will see you guys soon.